Welcome back to All Things Real Estate. I am one of your co-hosts, Aaron Zapata.
I am the other co-host, Todd Anderson.
And together we are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Properties. Todd, what is your license number?
020-77325.
And mine is 013435. I get it
0135.
I don't know why.
Let me just set it straight.
But let's just set it straight. I have been a licensed broker for over 20 years, and I am dyslexic.
Yeah.
Okay? That does not mean I do a bad job. It does mean that I get the numbers on my license mixed up all the time.
That's why I came aboard, is just to help you get your DRE license number. That's right. My only purpose.
We can't even get through the intro of our show without me making a mistake.
Okay.
So
for the record, your number is 013565534.
Thank you. And as you were saying it, I was saying it in my head. Like, I know what my number is. Okay. The funny thing is we're licensed under Impact Properties, which is the brokerage I own, and I know that number 01922-671. Like, I know that one. Just all the time.
Well, you know why? Because you're the broker, and every single realtor has to get your stamp of approval, and you've got that number going all day long.
I have to write
but
that
all of
all
of our contracts, I'm normally the ones that put your number in there.
That's true. That's true. So if you just stumbled upon this show, we're glad you're here. We take everything that we do for our clients with intensity. Mm-hmm. And we want to be good at it. And so one of the things that we do have to disclose at the very beginning here is that we are not giving you any real estate advice. So if you're watching this on our website at baldbrothers.tv, mm-hmm. or if you're listening to this on the radio, we're not giving you any advice today.
You are not our clients.
That's right. But we would like you to be.
Yep. And how can they do that?
Well, they can call us at 833-305-BALD. That's BALD. Mm-hmm. And they can call us 24 hours a day, Todd.
Wow, 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day.
That's amazing.
3 a.m. in the morning.
How do we do that?
Man.
Sitting by the phone all
the
night
time.
long.
That's right. No, you just call. We have a call center. They'll take your name and number. They'll forward that to us. We'll call you back, and we want to make sure that we can help you. So,
yep, and baldbrothers.tv. If you go online, you can get all of our links there as well.
That's right.
So today, what are we going to talk about?
Well, because we just said we're not giving any real estate advice, let's talk about our 16 steps to a successful sale. Mm-hmm. Now, we understand if you're not selling your home right now, you're probably not going to listen to this whole show. It's just the reality. Mm-hmm. But we do want you to, file it away somewhere for reference, or for this you heard is mm-hmm. going to be selling their home, because we do want to help them, and we can help carry out these 16 steps.
Yep.
In fact, we were going to do a really short show, weren't we, Todd? 16 steps to sell your home. Step number one?
Step number one, preparation.
No, step number one, call the Bald Brothers team. Oh, we'll take care of the rest.
I failed already.
You failed already.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right. Yeah. Step number one, call us. We'll take care of the rest. I already forgot.
That's right.
So listen, this is the thing. Just said, if you're not interested in selling your home right now, this might not be interesting to you, but we do encourage you, because at one point you might be considering selling your home. File this episode away. Now, if you're listening on the radio, it's kind of hard to file that away, but if you go to baldbrothers.tv, go to our blog, or if you go on YouTube or to iTunes or any place where the episode is, bookmark it, save it for later, and you might just be very thankful that you did.
And while you're there, like it, subscribe it. Give us a 5-star rating. We'd love that. As Dave Ramsey said, don't give us a 1-star rating. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just go listen to something else, right? He said, but we love the 5 stars. So we do.
Yeah.
And so let's start with step number one. Todd, you already let this cat out of the bag.
Other than calling the Bald Brothers team.
That's right.
Is preparation. You need to prepare the home.
Yeah, your home preparation is very crucial, and it can start years in advance. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll do a pre-home inspection so that you can figure out what kind of issues you have, whether it be electrical or plumbing, because every buyer is going to do a home inspection. And so you may want to do your own just to kind of give you a heads up. Mm-hmm. In fact, the two things that typically destroy a transaction is the home inspection and the appraisal. Mm-hmm. And so getting one of those two out of the way
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
And it kind of depends on the market, depends on the type of home. We had a client a few years ago was selling a beautiful home, mansion in Carlsbad, right along the coast. And this is a multi-million-dollar property. Well, the buyers that are going to be coming looking at that home at that level are going to expect luxury. They're going to expect the best of everything. And so for that client, we did recommend doing a full home inspection.
Right.
So ahead of time, we can fix all the things that might be issues for that caliber of buyer.
And we got the report. It was like 100 pages, and it had dozens and dozens of things that were in need of attention.
Yeah. If you wanted to get that price point.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we definitely recommend that. Most of our sellers end up don't doing that because they generally understand the condition of their home. But there's other things like gathering all your documents, signing the paperwork with the realtor. We even open a title order to make sure that there's nothing on the title of the property.
Some people don't realize that's actually a crucial part of preparation, because you don't want to at the 11th hour find out, oh my goodness, there's a lien on my home. I forgot about this, or maybe it's a fraudulent lien. We want to know that ahead of time, and that's all part of the preparation stage.
You know, one of the things that comes up now post-pandemic is a lot of homeowners went into forbearance. And if you went into forbearance, they would typically delay some payments, and then you haven't even thought about it. Oh, I forgot. Or maybe you know about it, but you don't know how to really enact it or like to pay those off. Well, guess what? They'll ask you for that in the payoff. So all that stuff is part of preparation. Step number 2.
Step number 2 is pricing. And this is not just pulling a price out of your head that you'd like to have for your home. As much as we'd like to say that it's as simple as that, it does require a significant amount of market analysis. And that market analysis might be happening months before you list your home. But guess what? We've got to do that analysis again right before we list it, because the market is constantly changing and constantly shifting.
And I'm not going to say the official name of this website, but it starts with a Z.
And it ends in an illo?
Yes. and you know, that is not the value of your home.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an algorithm. It's a math algorithm that's no personal touch to it whatsoever. And so you need to talk with people that understand your market.
Yeah.
Step number 3.
Step number 3 is actual marketing. And this is
needed.
That is needed. And you know what? This is where it makes a difference who you hire to represent you in selling your home, because some people know marketing and some people do not. So this has to do with everything from photos and video, writing a description of the property. Oftentimes a home requires staging, because the fact of the matter is buyers oftentimes lack the imagination to know what the potential of the home is. So oftentimes we'll recommend staging. There's online advertising, there's print marketing. Sometimes it's a matter of going throughout the neighborhood and marketing the neighborhood as well.
Well, and to throw in here, each person's marketing plan is slightly different.
That's right.
There's not a universal 9-point checklist.
There's no mandated California Department of Real Estate how to market a home.
That's right. And so the Bald Brothers team, we have our own unique plan that we follow, from the kind of pictures we put into the multiple listing service. And you know, it drives me crazy, Todd, because when we go out and meet with a seller, like we're going to present them a list of all of the sales in the neighborhood as part of our analysis, right? An extensive analysis of sales. And as we're going through there, I will always see photos that are horizontal, then vertical. Sometimes you have a reflection of somebody in the mirror. Sometimes you see like the flash bulb from the iPhone or cell phone went off as they're in the bathroom taking the picture, you know, of the, and you're like, this is not professional.
I saw one where there was a close-up photo of a floral arrangement on the kitchen counter. Now, I guarantee you that floral arrangement will not be there when they sell the home.
Right. But speaking of not being there when they sell the house, I saw one where the person snuck, basically you could tell they just cracked open the door, of a bedroom, took a picture of the bedroom, which included the bed, and it looked like that bed was kind of made. It was lumpy. And if you look at the picture, Todd, you see the person's foot hanging out
Yeah,
from
there's
the
someone
bed.
in there.
There's someone under the sheets. It's like, oh my word, this is ridiculous. So photos do matter.
Yeah.
That person's not going to be there when you buy the house, by the way.
Yeah, so listen, the bottom line is marketing matters. And as Aaron mentioned, by the way, we are the Bald Brothers team. You're listening to All Things Real Estate with the Bald Brothers team. You can reach us you can go to baldbrothers.tv. You can also call 833-305-BALD. That's B-A-L-D. All Things Real Estate with the Bald Brothers team. And we're talking about the 16 steps for selling your home. And right now we're talking about marketing. Marketing makes a big difference. And we have our own proprietary method of marketing. And every realtor will have their system of marketing. But very crucial, because if you want to get the price that you want for your home, it does start off with pricing. But if you have marketing to back up that pricing, you're going to fall short.
Well, and not only that, Todd, the marketing, when it's done properly, works in any market. So we get asked all the time, well, do you sell in our neighborhood? Do you sell in our area? The answer really is we can.
Yes.
We may not have yet, but because we've been doing this, me personally, for over 20 years, developed a system that works. It's like if math works in this part of town. The only place that math doesn't work, we know, is in Washington, D.C. But or in Sacramento. But the math and the marketing strategies we use, it works everywhere. So the next step number 4 on our list for successfully selling a house is open houses.
Yeah, open houses. And some people don't like the thought of strangers and every neighbor in the neighborhood coming through. But there was a period of time in COVID where we were banned from doing open houses. We couldn't do them. But there's different ways of doing open houses. And one of the main things about an open house is to build buzz about the property. And if buyers can see that there's lots of other buyers interested in this home, it generates an enthusiasm on the part of the buyer and more likelihood for them to want to throw their hat in the ring and compete for the home.
That's right. And with proper marketing, you get the right people through the open houses. And when there are multiple people in the open house at the same time, there is that FOMO, the fear of missing out. And so it does create a little bit of a different atmosphere where buyers become more competitive, which generally results in a better price for the seller.
That's right.
And ultimately, like you said, Todd, before, we work primarily with sellers. And so we understand the heart of a seller. We also understand that they don't like to be held up in their house for 6 months, held hostage, having to keep the house, perfectly clean. And we have found that in the way the buyers find homes these days, that open houses can be very effective for selling it quicker. So
and that is our goal. If you've done the proper pricing, which we've just discussed, if you've done the proper marketing, then you can hopefully get away with just doing it of open houses. No guarantees, but you can hopefully, if you've done the first 2 points, get a good open house, get offers coming in. And then that's back, by the way, that is our next step, is selecting a winning offer. That would assume that you actually have offers that have come in.
Right.
And that's the goal.
And when offers come in, if you have multiple offers, it's not just looking at a piece of paper. You got to review all the offers. We have to present all the offers. We need to talk to the buyer's agent. We need to talk to the lenders. We need to review the qualifications. We got to look at the bank statements. We got to look at the pre-approval letters. We have to make sure that the offers are written completely, that they're not missing blanks, that things are as they are supposed to be.
And so then once you've gone through that position, you may only have one offer that you're working with. You still have to do the same process regardless of whether there's one offer or there's multiple offers. But once you've selected an offer, then the step is part of selecting the winning offer is responding. Oftentimes there's a counter offer that's written. Oftentimes if there's multiple offers, you've got to respond to all of them and let them know. We have our own system. We're not going to go over all of that today. We have our own. No, we're not. It would take too long, but we have a proprietary system of selecting a winning offer. But the goal is, if you have multiple offers, to be able to have a good winning backup offer, because there's always a chance that escrow will fall out. And the last thing you do is have to start all over again. If you can go to a good backup offer and get right back in the escrow, then you're not wasting any time.
That's right. So let me just reiterate that, Todd, because step number 5 was offers. Step number 6 is issuing counter offers. And that's when we go back to them and say, hey, we want the best terms and this is what we're looking for. They come all back. They decide if they want to play the game. And then step number 7 is to finally select and narrow down that winning offer that usually has the best terms, best price for our sellers. And then we have to notify all the parties of the decision made.
That's right.
And then, like you said, we hold those 1 to 3 backup offers in play because we want to make sure that the buyer that was selected knows that they need to perform.
Yep.
And if they don't perform, we've got other buyers waiting in the wings.
Yep. So those are 3 steps right there. I just kind of jumped them. I bundled them into one step. But thank you, Aaron, for keeping me on track. So
that is our job. You keep me on track.
Step 5, 6, and 7 that we just went through. But hey, we've got a limited time to talk about all things real estate. So we got to keep on moving through. By the way, if you're just tuning in, this is All Things Real Estate with the Bald Brothers team at Impact Properties. You can call us at 833-305-BALD. You can also find us online at baldbrothers.tv. That's BALD brothers.tv. And you can find all of our social media contacts, our website, how to get a hold of us. So we're talking about 16 steps for selling your home. We are now on step number 8. And this is the step that everybody loves, which is
opening escrow.
Opening escrow. Yay. Everybody's excited. There's euphoria because we've got a good buyer for your home. Yes. But guess what? The journey is just really beginning. You're opening escrow. And this is where you notify the buyers that they've been selected. They're excited. Everybody's on cloud 9. And then in opening escrow, this is where with the contract, the entire contract is completely binding, and it's sent over to escrow and the lender information as well. And then once we open escrow, the next step is the buyer needs to actually show their skin in the game by opening escrow with a deposit. They've got 3 days in California. They've got 3 days to get that initial deposit into escrow. And then the process starts with escrow, the inspections and the buyer's due diligence period.
All begins.
Yep.
And once escrow is open in California, we have disclosures. Those are delivered. Now in Tennessee, where I'm also licensed, they actually have a lot of the disclosures posted, and they must be reviewed before you open escrow, which I think would be kind of nice. But in California, we deliver the disclosures. Once escrow is opened, we also send over the homeowners association doc. And then number 10 is the inspections.
Yeah, there's really 2 primary inspections. The first one, most often the buyer will do, but they don't have to. That's the buyer's home inspection. They'll hire an inspector. We can talk about inspections on another show because it can take an entire show. But
Let me say this about it, though.
Yeah.
Okay, just in summary. Buyers, home inspectors make a living by pointing out every flaw in your home.
Yep.
And so deliver a copy of the home inspection to the seller. I often say, I know you didn't know this, but you live in a death trap because every home inspection makes every house look terrible.
It's amazing that you have survived this long in this death trap. I know it's beautiful, but behind the scenes,
so
it's a sordid reality.
That's right. The other inspection that is always done if you have a lender involved, and sometimes with cash, but mostly not, you have an appraisal inspection, and that's when the bank sends the appraiser out to the house. And they take pictures, they measure, and they want to make sure that the valuation is indeed appropriate with the contract.
Yep. And sometimes there might be various other inspections that the buyers choose, but these are the primary 2.
That's right. So the next step, number 11, is after they get their reports back and their home inspections back, they typically request for repairs. And again, selling as is, we're going to have a whole show on that one. But basically, you can say no, you can say yes, you can negotiate somewhere in the middle. But that is a part of escrow, is requesting repairs.
Yeah, I'd say
getting back and forth.
Probably 80 to 90% of the time we do get some sort of repair request, and almost all of the time there's some sort of negotiation that goes back and forth, and we work through that. And then we get to the point that we really start to breathe a sigh of relief when the buyer starts to remove their contingencies. And that basically, until they've removed their contingencies, the buyer could back out at any moment and get 100% refund of their opening deposit. But once they remove their inspection contingency, their loan contingency, their appraisal contingency, then they're at a point where we know, hey, this buyer, if they back out now, they're going to lose their deposit. So more
Well,
than likely,
and-
they're not going to back out.
And let's just put an asterisk there. We are not attorneys.
That's right.
We cannot give legal advice. And in fact, that deposit sometimes gets split, and sometimes it does not go back to the seller if the buyer's in breach. There's a whole lot of things that can happen in that regards.
Yep.
So make sure when you're talking with your realtor that you also understand that, that contract that you sign is a legal contract. And the only people legally authorized to give you counsel is an attorney.
Yep.
So rely on them to decide if you're going to get that deposit back if you need to fight for it.
But you know who you can rely on if it comes to selling your home? You can rely on us. We are the Bald
Yes,
Brothers
we
team
are.
at Impact Properties. You're listening to All Things Real Estate with the Bald Brothers team. You can reach us at 833-305-BALD. And you can find us online at baldbrothers.tv. 16 steps to selling a home. And we are now on step number, what are we? 13. Full walkthrough.
Yes.
This is when the buyer, shortly before closing escrow, will do a final walkthrough where they go through, make sure all the negotiated repairs have actually been made. They make sure that there's no sudden changes to the home because they're writing a contract on selling a purchase contract on selling a home based off of the condition of the home. If all of a sudden there's a major change to the home, that could be an issue.
And a major change is what's called a material change. You could have beautiful landscaping, and then you get there 30 days later, and everything's dead.
Yeah.
Like you just turned off the water and decided not to mow, not to weed, not to do nothing. That's a significant change. And they can say, look, we're going to make sure that you restore that to the where it was before because that's what we were buying.
Yep.
So it's important that final walkthrough does verify that those repairs have been completed and there's no significant changes to the home. Once the buyer confirms that everything's good, then we move on to step number 14.
Final paperwork. All the escrow documents are in. The loan documents are in. Final estimates are in. We're speeding this along because we're running out of time, but all the final paperwork right before we actually close.
That's right, because we want to make sure that everybody's satisfied. The house looks great. Buyer's loan's in place.
Yep.
All the seller's documents are in place. Then we go to the final step in the actual escrow process, which is the closing.
Yep.
And the closing has a number of intricate parts. There's a bit of a whirlwind right at the end when everybody's signing paperwork. It seems a little bit hectic, and it's all timely because loan documents are dated. It has to close on a certain date. All of the fees are prorated. And so there's a lot of stuff that happens right there. But after you have successfully closed escrow, step number 16, which
One of the
crucial.
most important steps.
It's really crucial. And that's
Celebrate.
why we added it. Yeah.
Celebrate. You know, it's important to celebrate because selling a home is not easy.
No, it's not.
And there's a lot of physical work that's done, but there's a lot of emotional stress and anxiety that can also happen
That's right.
on part of both the seller and the buyer. And once we get to a successful closing, we want to celebrate a job well done on all parts.
You know, I think we get paid 50% for selling the house and 50% for counseling because it is very stressful. It is very time consuming. And we always love it when our clients have a successful sale. And in the end, Todd, they are really the heroes.
They are. They are.
They do all the work. We get the blessing and the privilege of coming alongside them and working through it with them. But ultimately, they own the house. They live in it. They go through the emotional roller coaster, and we get to serve them.
And you know what's important for those listening? When you're hiring a real estate professional, you want a real estate professional that's going to be calm through the entire process. You don't want to be talking your real estate professional down off of a ledge. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign.
But we are the ones that are supposed to be calm and help through the entire transaction, make it as smooth as possible so that we can close and truly have that celebration period.
Absolutely. And of course, every transaction is unique. Not all these steps flow in the same order. Most of them do. But every home, every transaction we work on is unique and is a case-by-case basis.
Yep.
So if you're thinking about selling your home, we would love to talk to you. We are the Bald Brothers team at Impact Properties. You can find us on our website at baldbrothers.tv. You can call us at 833-305-BALD. And we want you to come back and listen. And if you like this episode, we encourage you to share, like, subscribe,
do all the things.
all the things.
Because we are all things real estate, and you've listened to one episode on 16 steps of selling your home, but guess what? That's not all there is to real estate. Come back next week, and we'll have more things on real estate. We'd love to hear from you.
God bless. Thanks for listening to the All Things Real Estate Show. The Bald Brothers team is a licensed DBA of Impact Properties, Inc., licensed by the California Department of Real Estate number 019222671. Again, we do not give any real estate, legal, or financial advice, and we do encourage you to seek the advice of the proper professionals. If you'd like to reach us, you can call us at 833-305-BALD, or you can reach us online at baldbrothers.tv. Equal housing opportunity.